Hi guys, it's Chattanooga Ed here, and you have entered the Nocturnal Feeding with myself and my co-host James. Bam, there he is.
Hey, everybody.
Thanks James for joining me tonight. James is my good buddy, and you guys know us well as a team, and we're going to be talking about what to feed your guppies. And we're mainly going to push on live brine shrimp tonight. But James is super good at saying hi to everybody because he's like a speed reader. So I'll let you do that.
Oh, don't jinx me, buddy. All right, we have got, and there were some people before this, but as far up as I can go is Griffin Fish Room. Of course, myself and Ed saying hello in the chat. Lisa Perez, Tampa Tom Fishing, Pet Exotic / multiple aquariums. Tank, sir, hello, good to see you. Scroll on down through here. Creeks Aquatics, hello, Amy. Redfish, Bluefish is with us. Big J's Fish Keeper, GRB Aquatics, and there's the jump I was waiting for. See lots of the hashtag Dominic. Thank you for that, Racket. Thank you for sending everybody over to hang out with us. We go through here. Bill Witt, Mandy Boyd, Pugs Tanks, Dragon Lair, Gnarly Fish Tanks, GT Aquatics, Chevy Fish, Pegasus Arena, Gina French, Chad Krotz, Kaler's Aquatics, the other Tiffany, Griffin Fish Room. I think I said hello already, but in case not, hello. Rose Aquatics, The Zen Ginger, Lefty3213A, Mr. Fish Sir, Brad, hello there. Mr. Zen is with us, 44 Mad Guy, Fish and More, Eric W, Natural Aquariums, and I think that brings me to the bottom. So hello, if I missed anybody, I am sorry about that. I'm glad you all are here. Appreciate you joining us.
Awesome. You know, I see Lefty's here, and tomorrow Lefty and I are going to start a new show at 4 Eastern on his channel. And we're going to talk about a little bit about everything that we don't talk about on all the other channels. So I don't know. I'll leave it like that. Weird things going on in the news, movies, books, games, maybe Pokemon, you name it. We're going to talk about it. So
all that good stuff. That sounds like fun.
And I honestly don't know if we're going for 1 hour or 2 hours. I haven't talked to him about that yet. Normally, Lefty always jumps into our stream right before we're about to start and gives us our pep talk for the week.
Yep.
But he must have been having too good of a time at Rax River Life, which is super cool. So, yep.
Well, I was just saying we are going to have a special guest joining us in a little while as well. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, I've been reading the books by Michael Chen. Oh, gosh, I hope it's Michael Chen. Or Brian Chen. Now that's embarrassing. I should have brought the books up. And remind me to read his name. But he has some amazing books on how to do genetics in guppies. I haven't got to that one, but right now I'm reading Show Guppies. And one of his big things is what you feed your guppy. And he really says the only thing you can feed them is baby brine shrimp. So we're going to have a guest come on. He's just coming home from work, so he's a little late. And we told him to take his time. We're not in any rush.
He's not late. We're early.
Yeah. And we're going to pick his brain because he is an IFGA guy. And we'll just kind of go with we'll just kind of talk about it before he gets here, and then we can pick his brain some more. But
so before we stray too far off, I promised I would show you something because Dom said you had to have this, Ed, because of your red beard. So
that's awesome.
That is his oh goodness, gourami. It was a red, I guess a flame gourami. We picked a picture off the internet because that's how we do it. We go through and look, and he finds one he likes. But he said, I should give that to Ed. I'm like, okay. So I guess because of your red beard, he associates the red with you.
Well, I'll be hanging that up with the Scunch Princess, Pam's art. I've got Priscilla's art. I've got some Rax art. My friend MJ's art. And I'm trying to think, who am I missing? Chris. I haven't gotten anything from Chris yet because he cancels all my orders. He won't let me pay for anything. So, but eventually I hope to get a couple of his pieces up on my wall too.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I've got going here. I've got a wall over there that's got a bunch of rack art on it from River Life, and then I've got Scunge Princess right there. Then I've got Multi Tank Addiction, and I have Pam's calendar, but I'm wanting to like frame out each of the months because they've got beautiful artwork on each month.
I got an awesome owl from Pam this week, and I left it in the other room. I'm not going to get it. But you know what? I did get an aquarium box. I mean, we should open that before our special guest comes on, so we don't get ahead of ourselves on. We don't want to repeat everything.
Absolutely.
You know? Oh, I got a question. Earlier, Rex said Dominic, and Shai said, "Thank you for saying it correctly." How do people say Dominic sometimes?
Dominique is what we hear the most.
That's kind of a girl version.
Yeah, but generally that's what people say, Dominique, and even he will be like, "No, my name is Dominic. Thank you."
It's a good Czech name.
Yeah,
I like it.
I'm going to grab a couple things from the chat real quick, if you don't mind, before they get too far away. Rena, to answer your question, if you want to talk to us off of stream, I'm sure that we can work something out there. And thank you for having us on as guests. That was fun. Gina French says, I got your stickers. Thank you so much. You are welcome, Gina. Thank you for wanting the stickers. Lefty3213 says, I'd have been there tonight, Ed, but someone didn't invite me this time. Wink, cough, fish room fever, cough. Dave's Aquarium Thoughts saying hello to Ed and Fish Room Fever. And I think that's everything highlighted thus far. It is. There we go.
And honestly, we were talking to our special guest beforehand. So he was in his car, and we were talking to him, and he had to pick up some fish on his way home from work. So he's kind of jumping around. So the first thing we got is a My Aquarium towel. I have a blue one that's white and blue. So we got a towel this month. A neat little stick. Let's see. Actually, I know exactly where I'm going to put that, I think. But yeah, that's pretty neat. Now, this has a lot of little pokey things on it. That's not going to bother a betta, is it? Or do you think that could snag his little...
It could potentially, especially since they like to lay down a lot or rest a lot. He might get up in there and lay down on it.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know where this is going to go now.
Most fish, I wouldn't worry about it, but as much as they like to lay down and relax, I'd be afraid he might lay in it and hurt himself, potentially.
Two more of these things. I mean, they're super cool. I bet that would be pretty cool to put paint on and smash it into something.
That would be. Those always remind me of like a wasp nest.
Yeah, and I got one with like giant nuts that were in it, but a lot less, and one with a bunch of little nuts. It's kind of neat. A bent thing. I know, it's just they have to fit it in.
Yeah.
So well, that's cool. You can always use a net. And look at that. I got some algae wafers. You know anybody that has any plecos that might need that?
Oh, plecos, I don't know. I might be able to find somebody with plecos.
Now, what type of pleco is that? The white one right there in front.
That looks like a royal pleco, if I'm not mistaken.
Ah, cool. Okay. And, well, this month kind of looks light.
Oh, Lefty's saying, I love that wood, Ed.
And what would he put the thing? Oh, Ed, take the wood if it helps you out. Oh, Ed, I'll take the wood. But, yep, a breeder bag. This is probably my fourth breeder bag. Everyone's different. I bought one of the Aquarium Co-op ones, and I don't know why, because I don't ever use these things.
Oh, I love those things. That's one of the things I check every pet store for, because you can find deals on them sometimes.
So it looks like it's like on rails. So like if I took this apart, it would be like a cage match from a wrestling thing.
Kind of, yeah.
and then I just stick it in there. So that's interesting. But yeah, kind of a light aquarium box this month. Next month, hopefully it'll be better, and it'd make it, because I don't know if this is $30 worth of stuff. I think that'd be pushing it, really, honestly. I don't know what your opinion of it is, but
I mean, I'm
$7.50 maybe for a breeder box.
I've seen them anywhere from 8 to 12, just depending.
I don't know how much the botanicals are, but the small bag, I don't know. They must be saying the towel is a $20 towel.
I mean, those are, I think, like $8.99 for the co-op towels, but they've got a carabiner hook on them. Now, the piece of driftwood, that's probably $20 to $30, depending upon where you go, easily.
I'm not shopping somewhere for $30 for that.
I know. I'm just telling you what I see in the fish stores.
Okay, well, I don't have any wood like that, so I'll save it for something special and something that won't poke its eyes or fins out. You can go back to the main screen.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I don't know. I really like Gary Jones that does the aquarium box. He has a great website or YouTube channel. He hasn't made. Oh, and then there's also the net. I forgot the net when I was calculating.
That's $49.99 for the net. With the special knife, it's the angled net.
The boomerang net. It was probably supposed to be like this, and you just fling it into your tank, and you have a fish.
I actually have some of my nets are intentionally bent over because of the space limitations on my racks. So
yeah, that's one reason why I decided to go with all the 20 longs, just so I would have that extra space.
Absolutely.
I'm a big guy, and I just need it. And he says it would cost at least $25 for a wood, Ed. Okay, well, thanks, Kenny. So I guess I shouldn't have been harsh on the wood.
Yeah, the wood's not cheap.
Okay. So I saw the Guppy Guru. He got one of these in a aquarium box a few months ago. But I am going to start breeding my own brine shrimp. And I want to try to find the biggest, best company to buy, the jugs from. This one, it's, that's not going to last me but a week probably.
Well, my plan is, I forget what video it is, but there's a video, of course, it's got Corey from Aquarium Co-op, but it's got Dean in it, and Dean is showing the cans of eggs that he buys. So my goal is to go find that video again and see what he's recommending and purchase those more than likely. I figure if they're good enough to go in Dean's fish room, they're good enough to go in my fish room.
Yeah, Dean's the man. And I watched one of his videos not too long ago where he was talking about it with Jimmy. It was just Dean and Jimmy. And they were feeding the brine shrimp to all their fish. And, he just loves it. And he uses there's like different types of containers that you can breed your shrimp in. And do you want, what? Can you make this a smaller screen and pop them up?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, you see, I'm kind of jumping the gun because I was hoping for my special person to come on and give, but I know what he uses. So.
Special person. I like that.
Yeah.
And let's go with this one. Let's share that. So this is just what you get if you Google brine shrimp hatchery.
Okay. So let's go to, as I point to it, as you can see, let's go to, is it the disc type one? Is that Hikari's light disc?
This particular one is showing on Amazon It's a hobby brand. But that's the style that I've seen like on Jadron Aquatics and some other places that I think is really cool. Like you mentioned, the light it actually has a hole in the center there. Get up to that one where you've got the lid on it, and so the brine shrimp will make their way out, and that right there is a little collection cup, so they just make their way out and you just pull the cup out and do your thing and you're good to go.
And you see there'd be a lid that goes over it, except for right in the middle.
There's
earlier when we were talking, you called that kind of your air filter on an old car.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what it reminds me of anytime I see it.
Now that's only going to hold a couple cups of water. So I don't know if that's going to do you for a lot of tanks, honestly.
So this right here is what I'm looking at going with. Well, it's actually a picture of Joey's video, King of DIY. But that right there with the multiple setups, and then just run it off of the air pump. But you've got it, you do them in series. So you're like, okay, this one's hatching today, this one hatches, and so on and so forth. And then, yeah, you're still constantly having to reset it, which you always will, but you've got them spaced out. So it's not like, oh, I get 2 gallons of brine shrimp today and I have to be set up to get another 2 gallons the next day, you know?
If you go to the one that's a Coke bottle,
that's your standard little thing you can find in the stores just about everywhere.
Oh, yeah, that's a base.
Yeah, that's your standard. Give me the picture. That's what you get is the base there.
Oh,
then you hook your bottle into it. So that's how you see it in the store.
Okay.
Go back to there.
Well, then that's not what I thought. The one that Dean uses is like he uses 2 1-liter bottles and he hangs them. And the person we're going to be talking to tonight, he does the same thing.
Well, and this is kind of similar to Dean's design. I don't know whose this is, but I saw the image.
Yeah.
But yeah, and Dean's got like a special bottle that he's found. I forget what drink it is, but he's got a special bottle that he buys the drink so he can use that bottle, and he adds the handles to it for it to hang up and all that fun stuff.
I think you could use like a large bottle of Smart Water. It would work fine.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm thinking about doing is going with 2 of that type of setup with the airline.
And that's so easy to just incorporate in anywhere, especially, you know, since like you've got the linear air pump and I've got mine that I'm going to hook up. You just add an extra little drop off there and you can do whatever you want.
Yep. And then is Guppy Guru Peter here? I thought
he was. I lost my chat.
He just did an excellent video on the new Zest breeder or fry, I don't know, hatchery one that the Aquarium Co-op is just starting to do. And I watched his video. It was the first time I ever even saw him. I've heard him, heard about him. And yep, there he is. So everybody check out Guppy Guru. He made a great video on it. I don't care for it as much because it made so much at once. I would rather be using something that I can cycle every 38 or every 36 hours. And that way I'm getting 2 solid rotations out of them.
Yeah, and like Peter's mentioned there, Dean's using the new Zis one like you mentioned, which I'm sure they've been on that for quite some time because they usually are playing with stuff for a long time before they ever bring it up. Them being Dean and Corey. So
okay.
I'm sure they've been using it for quite a while before they actually showed, hey, check this out. But I thought that was pretty cool. And it's even got the handle on it, so you can like hang it on the side of the tank and all that type of stuff. But it is definitely a lot of baby brine.
Yeah. And I like that how Guppy Guru, he was freezing his baby brine that he made too much of. And that's a good idea. Now, the difference from what I've found, because I was trying to find information on what's the difference between freezing and live breeding. And the only major thing I can find is the egg yolk that gives a little extra pop of protein for your fish. And, I think it's good for your fish to hunt and whatnot also, but I don't know if it's really necessary.
Right.
But the true growth that the IFGA guys that really want the best fish, they're trying to give them the egg yolk. And that's the only difference I can truly see between the live brine and the frozen brine.
Yeah, and they've always said the nutrient level's higher in live versus frozen. But then you get into, like, you know, where you are wanting to do a large quantity of it. It's definitely going to be more cost efficient to be hatching your own and buying the cans of eggs or the small packets of eggs or the, you know, vials of eggs versus buying a block of frozen baby brine or, you know, a block of frozen baby brine cubes every week or twice a week, just depending on how much you feed. If I were to put in, you know, half a cube in every tank that had babies in it, I'd be going through a lot of packets of frozen cubes.
Yeah. The other Tiffany said, what would you do if you only had one guppy in a tank? Would it be worth hatching a small amount? Oh, man. Honestly, probably not.
I agree with that.
I think that you really don't need that extra pop of protein because you can get so much more. I mean, I don't know. I shouldn't say you can get so much more, but you can save your money and just like get. I wish I had my aquarium co-op fry food, but if like you can feed guppies, adult guppies will eat the fry food, you know, or just any other. You can take flake food, and I always grind my flake food up in my fingers and drop it in.
Yep.
I would only. The only reason I've had guppies my whole life. Well, I haven't had them my whole life, but quite a bit throughout my life, and I've never gone with the live fish. Well, I take that back. I do sometimes buy it from my local fish store, but I've never raised them myself, and I just don't think it would be worth the effort for one fish. But I'm trying to get a win.
I'm still going to agree with you, but the other Tiffany's clarifying not just a single guppy, a single tank of guppies.
Oh,
I don't know that I would just for one tank. I'd probably go with the cubes. I mean, you could just do small amounts. You could very easily set up like one of the little do-it-yourself ones with a small bottle like this and, you know, your little airline runoff and just do very small batches. That wouldn't be bad. I wouldn't set up a massive setup or do this one for one tank. Unless you're talking, no, you know, when I think one tank, I'm thinking like one standard size, maybe 10 or 20 gallon. If you're talking like I've got a 200 gallon that's full of guppies, then sure, why not?
Yeah. And then I looked into, I do have micro worms. And I checked in, like, can I get away with giving my guppies micro worms instead of giving them the brine shrimp? And I found out that there's so many more advantages to the frozen, or not the frozen, but the live brine shrimp. Not only is the egg sac on there, so they give them the protein for that, but they have like almost 15% more protein than the micro worms, and they have calcium because they have a shell. And that goes a far way when you're trying to grow your fish large and pretty also. Oh, Bob's clarifying the one fish thing also, I think. Yeah. Okay. I was just reading what Bob had to say there.
Well, I've got a comment up on the screen for you.
Yeah.
Big Tank. Oh, sorry.
I'm looking.
Big Tank Hank says, with Betty, you must use live because new fry must hunt or starve.
Okay.
See, I was not aware of that, so absolutely. That's why I love this community. You never know what you're going to learn.
Oh my gosh. Well, and I'm not going to give up on the micro worms because that's what I give the daisy rice fish. And so, you know, just because it doesn't work for one fish, it will work for another. You can use vinegar eels too, but again, vinegar eels doesn't have the calcium that you want for your growing guppies. So just my 2 cents, I guess. Another advantage to the brine shrimp, though, is they are a saltwater fish, so they don't pass on any diseases and stuff from freshwater fish. So that's an advantage, too, to them. But I don't know if that would be like as if I was growing Daphnia in a tank. You know where that really comes in. I finished my first bites on beta fry, and it works. Okay. Well, that's awesome. Big Tank Hank. Priscilla knows things. Thanks, Priscilla.
I know nothing, Jordan Stout. I know that's not the actual quote, but I just had to say it.
Yeah. A lot of my questions, or a lot of the things that I've prepared, I was going to be asking questions to the person today. But yeah, James, I do plan on doing the live brine shrimp. I'm just going to do it. And then James and I are going to both be doing the beta walls, and maybe I'll actually try to breed one group of beta someday. See what happens.
I think you're going to win on the beta wall, Ed.
I don't know.
I think my finances are going to go into other things, and I'm just going to have something.
Well, that's fine. I'd like to say my beta wall is probably going to be less than $100. Oh, minus the lights. I'll probably.
I see somebody popped up backstage. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, HC Aqua.
Hey, how's it?
How are you?
Sorry, I'm super late.
No, it's totally cool.
We got the time crossed. Or it's Hawaiian time, so whatever.
Hey, I totally appreciate you coming on. We've been talking about live brine shrimp, brine shrimp versus other live stuff, and what's the best way to do it. And you do it, so I was just going to kind of quiz you on things, and if you want to add anything, that'd be totally cool.
Okay, shoots.
Okay, now you are a member of the IFGA, right?
Technically, no. I'm part of a club that is a club, like an associated club. What do you call it? Like the Hawaii Fancy Guppy Association is a club, and then I belong to that club. But you're supposed to like also be a member. Like you're supposed to sign up separately, which I haven't done yet. I'm going to, but I just haven't. I don't know. Been busy. I don't have time to do all that reading anyway.
Well, that counts. That'd be like, you know, if you're a Girl Scout and you just don't want to pay money to get the Girl Scout cookies.
I guess.
So, but you got the suit and everything else. So we'll ask you the questions.
Okay.
Well, okay. I've been reading a book by Brian Chin. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I was like terrified. The more I would say his name, different names would go through my head. And he really recommends. He basically says he doesn't recommend. He says you basically have to feed them live brine shrimp. And the main thing was the yolks. You want to have the yolk on there because it adds so much more protein. And he also recommends that the brine shrimp gives a lot of calcium with their shell. You know, opposed to the different worms that you can give, like microworms and vinegar worms. So now you use brine shrimp. Do you think that much into it, or do you just do it?
I kind of just do it because they said to.
Okay.
But I believe in it. I mean, it's like the fish look really happy, and I do think they grow faster. So I don't know.
Well, and talk about product placement. Look over Jesse's left shoulder. Be on the right side of the screen looking at it, but got the brine shrimp going right there in screen. Love it.
Yeah. I'll show you what it looks like. So this is a DIY version. Let's see if I can get it here.
And that's what I want right there. That's, I think, my favorite hatchery. I've been looking for about a week and a half, and I think this is about the thing that'll work the best for me.
All right. So I forgot. I think this is a smart water bottle. And then you can buy these things from the kind of Amazon. They're like the Soto bottle cap DIY brine shrimp thing. Put all those words in there, you'll get it. It's super cheap. You buy it in bulk. And then I put like these airline, what do you call these, valves. This two-way splitter. So like this side is where the air comes in, and this is where I drain it from.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So that's super easy. Works good. But I put like, this is like 3 scoops. You know the scooper that comes with the brine shrimp thing? This is like 3 scoops of it. So it makes playing.
Do you use marine salt, or what type of salt do you use?
Yeah, I use marine salt because I have saltwater fish anyway. So I always have like a bucket of saltwater going, So it's right here, in fact. Like I always have a bucket of salt water like this, and I have a bubbler in it. So then I'll just take a cup out of here and refill it that way.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because I use it to fill up my saltwater tank up there anyway. So yeah, I always have saltwater on.
Now, do you put a little baking soda in there also?
I do not. I do not. I know some people do that, but yeah, I don't. I don't have a need to do that.
Okay.
It always just hatches like within like around 18 hours, 24, 18 hours. So I feed like one of these twice a day. So I go through like 6 scoops a day. I mean, I have a lot of guppies, so that's actually not enough. Sometimes I do 4.
Now, can we also ask you where you get your eggs and like how do you do it?
Yeah. I order it all from Brand Shrimp Direct. So my club gets a discount code. So I'm actually the guy who coordinates it for my club. I just tell everybody like, okay, it's time for another order. And then last time we ordered 9 pounds worth of brine shrimp. Yeah, but yeah, you save on shipping that way.
Oh yeah.
Oh, well, James, we're gonna have to get a group together just to buy eggs.
Absolutely. Lefty was asking, do you heat the water, Jesse?
No, I don't heat the water. I don't do anything. It's just like normal temperature.
There you go. And
Do you
Dragon,
use any tanks?
Yeah, my rams, my black rams and my gold rams are heated. Is that it? That might be it. I used to have discus, which I used to heat, but yeah, right now just the rams. Hey, but check what this is why I'm late. I picked these up. These are albino kois. They're supposed to be they're supposed to have red pectoral fins, but they don't. But that's what I paid for. So I'm a little bit like on the fence, like okay, but like I prepaid. This is a Thailand order, so there's no backing out, of course. Like you get what you get. But they're saying like the parents were that, so supposedly they have the genetics, and possibly they might show it later. So I don't know. I'm hopeful. Hopefully, they'll show that picture. Otherwise, they're just normal, expensive albinos.
Now, did you just buy 2, or did you buy?
I always just buy 1 pair.
Wow!
Because they will breed. Yeah.
See, I'm terrified to do that.
Really?
Terrified.
No, I always watch people buy like 2 or 3. I'm like, whoa, you got plenty of money. Okay, just buy 1.
If I get that, I guarantee every male would die or every female.
And I will say, in fairness, Jesse did also tell me the same thing when I was buying guppies from him. He's like, you can just get 1 pair. And I'm like, no, I want a couple pairs. He's like, just get 1. I'm like, no, I want a couple just to be safe.
Believe in yourself.
Dragon Lair did say the bottle caps, like what you've got, he got a package of 2 for $5 on Amazon. Lefty had a follow-up question saying, follow-up, what temp is the water / your fish room?
What do you mean? What is that?
Like when he was asking about if you heat the brine shrimp, what water temp are they sitting at? I know you said it's unheated. Or what's your fish room set at?
There's no setting. It's just the earth here.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't control my temperatures.
It's set to Hawaii temps.
It's probably about 78, 80. I don't know. I mean, I have a tester. Let me see.
It says it's 83 right now in Hawaii or in Honolulu.
I don't know where my tester is right now. Oh well. I'm guessing it feels like 78 because the water is like, even though the air is maybe 82, it's like 5 degrees less in the water.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Now, just like James did that with his order from Jesse, I won a pair of red mosaic Dumbos from Jesse, and I begged him to buy an extra pair just because I was so afraid. And they're
understood. Yeah.
Hopefully next week I'll be doing the video in my fish room, and they will be right here. I'm going to have them in a tank right next to me. They're some of my favorites. Well, can you tell us it? Are you ever afraid of like adding salt to your tanks, or do you rinse? Do you have to rinse them off, or what do you do?
It kind of depends on how I feel, honestly. Whether I want to be lazy that day or not. But I do rinse them sometimes, and sometimes I don't. I've been rinsing them a little bit more often than I used to nowadays. Um, but I kind of don't feel like with guppies they appreciate salt anyway, so I kind of don't feel like that's even necessary. But like my rams, they probably don't appreciate the salt, so probably better to rinse them for stuff like that. That's my 2 cents on that. Yeah.
Hey,
And a lot of people do too. They you probably do this. A lot of people they don't reuse their water. Like they use a new fresh salt water every single time. To me, like I pay for my salt. That's wasting money. I use it. I reuse it for like a whole week. So if you're really paranoid about it, then okay, rinse your brine shrimp, right? But it works fine for me. I haven't had issues with reusing my water.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, that's
good to
awesome,
know.
man. Yep. Gosh, okay. Let me. Well, now you said you do them like every 20 to 18 hours. It's ready.
Yeah.
So do you normally have 2 tubes ready, or do you just do one at a time?
I do two. Yeah, so one for the AM feeding, one for the PM feeding.
So are you breaking it up before you go to work? You make one and
Oh yeah. So like before I go to work, I'll do the feeding. So I'll harvest. Right, I dump the whole thing. That's a full harvest, and I go around the whole fish farm and I feed everything, and then I'll fill it back up with the used water. I'll wash it out. Like I'll wash out the container because it has the eggs inside, right? So yeah, like I don't drain it all the way. I drain it all the way until only the eggs are left because I don't feed those. I discard the egg shells. Yeah, so you wash it after that, and then you fill it up with the used water. I don't know. You have these, right? This net thing.
I don't have a round one. I have a square one.
You have the black square one.
No, I have a white square one. I actually have like 2 little white square ones.
How do you like that? Does it clog for you too much?
Now you see, when I don't do my own right now. I'm going to,
Okay.
but when I buy them, it works just fine because I pour it from a cup because I'm getting them in like a coffee cup from my pet store, and it works fine, and I don't find that it clogs at all in the white.
Because I have the square ones too. I bought it from Brine Shrimp Direct. It's the Brine Shrimp sieve, and I always I collect the whole thing, which is like I said, it's 3 scoops of eggs, right? So it's kind of a lot of brine shrimp to go through. It does clog, and then the whole thing will overfill with water and drip all over your room, and it's a disaster. These little cheapy nets tend not to do that, so I kind of actually like these better.
Well, I like how it's round. It just seems like it would catch better.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. Like if I'm lazy, I don't even rinse this. I take what's in here and I just dip it in each tank. But if I'm not lazy, then I'll rinse it and I dump it into another container and then I use a dropper to like drop it in each tank, which I've been doing recently.
Well, I don't know if it's a live stream of yours or one of your videos, and you just walked around with that net.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
And I loved it.
It's fun.
Yeah, I should have prepared better and had that link for you. I don't know if anybody would be able to find it because I don't know what that link was even called.
I do have a video on my brine shrimp hatchery, but I think that one I might have used the dropper instead. I don't remember. But sometimes I go on like live streams on other people in the morning, and then I'll do like a live feeding for fun.
Yeah, I watch you in too many spots. Maybe you were doing it.
Yeah,
maybe it was Griff's or something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh, well, it was really cool. Okay, well now you also you still grow Daphnia? You were saying?
I do less, I used to do it like that. Used to be my primary source of food for a lot of my fish. No, I mean not a lot of my fish. A lot of the very finicky fish that require live food because they only eat live food. Kind of like my scarlet baddest, they used to like not eat flakes or anything. So I still feed it that. Like for those types of fish, I still use Daphnia. So like my pipefish, my toothpick, crocodile toothpick fish, they only eat live. My licorice gummies, they only eat live as well. So Daphnia is still important for me for those types of fish.
Now, how do you keep your Daphnia? Do you just keep one tank filled with it, or?
Oh no, I have a lot of 5-gallon buckets in my backyard just in case, because I want backups of backups of backups. And I cover them with a screen so that dragonfly nymphs don't get in there, because if a dragonfly lays eggs in there, they'll wipe out the entire colony.
Oh.
They'll eat all the Daphnia. So yeah, so I cover it up. But to feed it, I take a fresh cup of water out of the culture of Daphnia, and I pour it into like a fish pond, so maybe they'll eat the fry. And then usually one or more of my ponds will have green water, so I'll just take a fresh dip of their green water and I pour it back into the Daphnia culture to feed the Daphnia. I do that like once or twice a day, and that's how I feed them.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I would like to get Daphnia someday. Does it require the sun, or can you just keep, like in the wintertime here? It doesn't really freeze much, but it would still get, I think, probably too cold for them.
I don't know. I mean, it doesn't do that here, so it'll be. I know, like Dave, Aquarium Thoughts. He recently has a culture. I don't know how long he's had it for. I don't know if he had it over the winter yet, but he keeps it in sun, and he says he hardly even feeds his. So yeah, I'll ask him if it winters over. I kind of don't think so, you know.
Do you feed yours yeast?
So once in a while, like if during the winter it does get a little bit less sun here, sometimes I'll lose all my green water. Then I'm forced to use things like yeast or spirulina. Yeah, but those, like, you have to watch out with yeast, because if you don't wait long enough for it to dissolve, you can actually crash your Daphnia culture that way, because it will like clump on the bottom, and then somehow it'll crash the colony if it's not fully dissolved. So like I like to wait at least 10 minutes, shake it up real good before I throw it in there.
I got you. Yeah. I think like 3 or 4 years ago, I was watching Corey. It was before he was like huge, and he crashed a whole tub of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
I've never crashed a Daphnia culture with green water, but I have crashed it with spirulina and yeast.
Okay.
Yep.
Very cool. I hope we didn't bore James.
Yeah, what happened?
I don't know.
Oh, I'm still here. I just thought it was better to have you on there since it was a Q&A, you know, and it is your stream. I was just switched it over to that.
It's my stream, James, but you're just as much of it as me.
Well, it gave me a chance to catch up on all the Facebook messages I was getting during the stream.
Oh, okay.
I did have some comments sent in about the man-made foods can foul the water in terms of like for bettas, and having the live brine can foul the water if the bettas don't take to it. And it also helps, of course, with their prey drive and things like that. And it's just generally better. It's a betta.
Hey, Dave's in here. He chimed in. He does keep it all year long before. But I wonder, like, did you have to heat it? Will it survive in the cold? Or, I mean, I think he lives in Southern California. It doesn't even get the cold anymore. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know if it froze. It, like, this year, in the 3 years that I've been here, we had the most snow. We had, like, one snow that did, like, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch. But it was 58 degrees. So It was so bizarre. Well, it was I guess we're a high enough altitude. It was cold up high and came down. But like Bob will tell you, he keeps telling me, be ready because it'll snow someday here. And when it does, I'll be running around. I was out in my shorts and bare feet when it was snowing that day. I'm a snow bear. I'm from the north, so I miss it. Okay. Now, how do you feel about frozen fish? Do you do it or frozen?
I feed it daily as well. Just once a day though. My morning regimen is brine shrimp. Start off with the brine shrimp, and then I'll follow up with a combination of frozen mysis, frozen adult brine, and frozen bloodworms. I thaw it out in some water and I feed it to the larger fish and some of the fry that are a little bit larger.
Very cool. That I do that too, so that makes me feel good.
And then I follow up with flake.
What? And my fish always get flake every day.
Yeah.
But I try to rotate my frozen foods every day. So I'm giving them Daphnia one day, bloodworms, and then the frozen shrimp.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But I don't do any of the baby. I don't know. Do they have baby brine shrimp? Frozen?
Frozen. Yeah, I have a ton of it, but I don't even use it because I hatch my own now. So it was on sale, so I was like, I'm gonna buy the whole thing.
Right.
And I was just sitting in my freezer.
Oh, jeepers.
What
Hey.
flake do you use, Jesse?
What kind of what?
The flake food. What flake do you prefer for your guppy?
Omega-1. Omega-1 super color.
I love that stuff.
Yeah, that one. Yes. Okay, great. We're on the
This-
same page.
I've been doing this for years, and I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah, it's
I
good.
absolutely love this stuff. And
Now, I will say I recently tried Extreme, and I've never seen the fish attack a food like they do with that.
Really? I need to order some Extreme. I'm going to try it.
Not sponsored, but I bought a bunch because the local fish store finally started carrying the line. I say finally, as soon as he found out about it, he got on it. Pop my camera back up now that I'm back here. But like my fish go nuts for that stuff. And I got like the big fella and the koi pellets and the the micro, which I've also been feeding to the guppies. They love that too, but they just attack the crap out of that stuff.
What's the first ingredient of that? Is it krill or
I
what,
can grab it real
salmon?
quick.
He has it.
oh,
But-
which one? The Omega-1 or the
yeah.
Extreme?
Oh well, actually, yeah, I was actually the other one, the Extreme. Yeah. But what's the Omega? I think it's salmon.
Yep, salmon.
Yeah, I don't have a bottle here.
But yeah, the thing is I bought 10 pounds of it. And so I'm at about 7 pounds right now.
10 pounds. Wow. I thought I was badass at my 5 pounds.
I got 10 pounds for like $155. And when you add it up, I saved almost $400 on that.
Yeah.
So, I generally like to buy all my fish food from my local fish store. But man, when you're weighing it, that's a bunch of really good guppies I could buy with that savings. So,
Krill meal is the first ingredient
Krill. Okay.
in the
that's what I
community
thought.
crave, and it is also the first ingredient in the nano, which they like
Nice.
both of. But I found, because like Ed talked about, where we go through and we powder the flake up in our fingers. Of course, all of it, it's flake food, so it's really simple. But this stuff just grinds like into like nothing, like super
Yeah.
super fine.
Yeah, I can't wait to try that.
yeah, I've got 2 bottles of the new Bug Bites flakes that I haven't tried yet. And I got them from my local guy.
I didn't even know
Hey,
they had
Detroit.
flakes. Hey, Detroit. I was just in a stream earlier today.
Hey there. Yeah.
Fun stream,
Detroit's
fun
cool.
stream. I was trying to win some stuff from him. No luck today.
I had him on in the background because I was doing homework for this. So I was lurking.
So since it's not my channel, I can do this and not feel bad. But everybody subscribe to Chattanooga Ed. You're here. If you're not subscribed, somehow do it. And check out HC Aqua. Give him a subscription as well. Both are awesome guys. So if you followed over from River Life's channel and ended up in here and you're not subscribed, I recommend it. Ed's up to 485 subscribers now. So almost to that 500 mark.
Don't
I
forget
lost
Fish
one.
Room Fever.
One
Yeah.
day I'll break that 1500. It's killing me.
You'll do it. No problem. Oh, jeepers. I was going to. Well, Jesse also sells his fish on Get Gills. Do you do it anywhere else?
I did want to try Aquabid.
Okay. Aquabid's really fun. The one
Have you
thing
posted?
that I have never, I just bought. I haven't
Okay.
never But the one thing you got to watch out is there's a couple of con artists on there.
But on the seller, is that an issue? Like, what is there con artist buyers?
I don't think there's con artist buyers.
I'll be the first.
So-
No, I'm just kidding.
Just bid it up and not pay.
So as a new guy, you need a good rating because a lot of people will think you're a con artist right off the bat, maybe.
Right.
You know, a lot of the con artists seem to be coming from England. I was actually talking to the Doug Gray about this. So bizarre. And yeah, you just kind of have to be careful.
So what I think I'll do is probably advertise on my channel, like when I post a video, like maybe I'll do an update of a certain guppy and I'll say these are available on Aquabid. That way, it's like it's my customers; they know who I am already, and that way I'll probably start building reputation on that site.
And on the website, you could also say go to my channel, and that gives you pretty legit that you're putting.
Right. Yeah, good idea.
Well, that's cool. I'm always pushing Get Gills though because I love Dan.
Me
So
too.
either one, great sources for people.
But I think they have different audiences, so it's good to diversify.
For sure.
Yeah.
Even though now one thing about Jesse, he's the only guy that sells fish and hates doing it.
Yeah,
No, Steampod hates doing it.
I hate shipping. Yeah, it's such a bother. Like, I owe some people some stuff as I need to get off my butt and do it.
And I have I've got one of these mugs for you, Jesse. And I went down to the local post office. That's what you call it.
That's what it is.
I was gonna get one of those like standard boxes, and all they had was thin boxes. And then I was gonna go down to like, the town next to me, and I never have done it. And then it just like occurred to me before the stream started, I can use one of your boxes you've sent me.
Oh yeah,
And
totally. Yeah, it's all like styrofoamed up and everything.
yeah, so that way you could send it to another person.
Oh, I would love that. If someone sent me back my box of it, thank you. Just joking. It cost me $15 to ship it back.
Well, he doesn't like making them though, so that's why it'd be nice.
Yeah,
For him
I
to
used to buy them from, what was it called? AQPKG. Are you familiar with that site? AQPKG.com. They're aquatic packaging company. They sell styrofoam liners, bags, and all the heaters and stuff for shipping fish specifically. But they raised their price to Hawaii to the rate that it would cost me like $50 or $60 in shipping costs just for those styrofoam liners. It no longer made sense to order from them. So
Sorry, I had to write that site down. I'm going to have to check that out. One of the
Yeah.
great,
you guys will still have good rates from them, so you guys should still work with them because he uses ground shipping, whatever it's called. I mean, of course, we don't have ground shipping here, so it doesn't apply to us. Yeah,
That's
good site though. I mean, I did. They're good people, so yeah, you
I've got
guys
to
should.
say, one of the great things about this having been the kids' room and them drawing all over the walls is now I just have a notebook everywhere. So like that, I just wrote that on the wall next to the desk.
That's crazy. Amy, if I don't know if I can mail, I bought 8 of them, and I've kind of already got them for people that did stuff I got them for the Facilia competition, and but you can get them on Teespring, can't you?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
if you go to James's Teespring, you can find any of our stuff, our merch there.
So
And
I wasn't going to bring it up on your stream. I was going to mention this Saturday, but Miss Fever has been killing it doing designs and stuff for the Teespring. We've got some really funny stuff on there. And she did. Super, super proud of her and appreciative of her because she took over my desk and was like, okay, I see how you did that. Let me do this. I made some cool stuff. So thank you.
yeah, she inspired me to do one too. So I haven't drawn it out. I've just drawn it out in my head.
I got you.
So, yeah. And I'll talk to you about that afterwards.
Detroit, you cannot on this one because Ed has not reached the 1,000 subscribers just yet. Ed, Detroit was asking how to super chat, but it's still appreciated. It's the thought that counts.
Yep. You just being here is good enough for me.
Absolutely.
And Jesse, now you normally have your show on Sundays.
I no longer do that.
Oh no, what happened?
I don't know. I never really liked doing it. I didn't really like talking to myself in that way. Anyway, so it was always like pressure for me to do them. So I decided to just like not do them. I might do them whenever I feel like it, but yeah, not scheduled. Yeah.
Well, if you ever just want to co-host, I'm more than happy to talk.
Yeah, that might work. I mean, yeah, that would actually help me because, like, yeah, it's that aspect of just like talking to myself. It just feels weird. That reminds me though, Sunday, I think I'm on JH's channel. Sunday.
Awesome! Yeah, Sunday has so many good people. I mean, you're on there. Well, you were on there, and then Joseph's on there. Father Fish is on there.
Oh, he is.
Or Father Fish on Saturday.
No, he's Sunday. I'm working
he's
on
Sunday.
it.
Oh, okay. Too early for me, probably.
There we go.
And before him, I think is D. Oh gosh. Well,
D and John. Yeah. Okay.
But Guppy Guru's on there, Peter, and Sundays are my one day that I travel all over. I normally am driving all over, and I miss a lot of people on Sunday, so I have to watch them all afterwards.
11 a.m. Oh darn, that's like 5 a.m. for me.
Yeah.
And
I will say he's in here. Detroit's on like every single day in the afternoons and evenings.
Yep.
Yeah.
Detroit will guarantee to entertain you whenever you need it. He's like the therapist that's there for you. But yeah, there's a whole mess, and then it ends with Daniken, and hopefully someday Jess the Shrink Granny will come back and I know Dan Slee and I love to harass her to death, but we won't go there. But okay, well, did anybody else have any questions about it? How I asked you about your salt water, and you said you didn't have a problem with that. No, do you ever do micro worms?
Yeah, I hardly use them though because I have baby brine shrimp. There are some species like Masurumugos, when they come out as fresh fry, they kind of have a hard time with the baby brine shrimp, even the rice fish too. So the first day or two, I do like throwing microworms for them. Yeah,
I grew out a rice fish, like almost juvenile, in my pufferfish tank.
Oh, that's odd.
I know. And it's not just a normal pufferfish, but it's the dragon puffer that likes to eat fish.
Mm-hmm.
And I never fed it anything. It just ate, I guess, little pieces of shrimp that the puffer,
microscopic organisms, probably infusoria.
So I didn't want to drop it in with the other daisy rice fish until it got a little bigger. So it's in there with your fish, actually, right now. It's in there with your guppies.
So you have Daisy's rice fish with the Dumbo mosaics?
Just one.
Oh, just one Daisy's rice fish. Oh, the one random fry.
I finally got it out. I was afraid that someday it might be a little getting a little too close to the mouth.
Do you have a colony of adults somewhere else in a different tank, or
I do. Yeah. I have 10 of Pam's Daisy rice fish.
Cool.
And I do plan on trying to breed them once my fish room's done. But right now, they're in my kitchen, and I don't want them on my countertop, but I just run out of spaces because I was doing all the moving and everything. So
for those, like I used to have them in a 10-gallon tank, and they weren't breeding. I think they were eating the fry, but once I moved them into like a 30-gallon tub, then they started. They don't eat the fry there anymore.
Oh,
There's
wow.
tons of them in there. Yeah, just colony breeding.
Oh, jeepers!
Yeah, you should try a summer tub.
Wait, I've got a 50 long, or I could get a 40-gallon breeder for him.
Yeah, just stick it outdoors.
That's really cool. My season's almost half over now. I probably have 3 more good months.
Oh, okay. Well, you could have them throw the fry, and then when it gets cold, just bring them back in to cool them out because you just want the fry, right?
Don't say the season's over, Ed. I just got my tubs in place earlier today.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Well, and I'm even farther south than you.
I'm going to do a trailer park tubbing video.
Bob Kaler's my professional tub guy for this area. Is Bob still here? Maybe he can tell us. He's probably feeding his fish. Oh, Rhett's here. Rose's husband. Hey, Rhett.
So we've got a question up on the screen for you all. The other Tiffany says, when choosing a food for guppies, what are the primary criteria if live baby brine is not an option? Size, ? Protein content, primary ingredient, something else, ?
Yeah, protein content is definitely probably the most important to me. That it's high. Also, fat content is also important. That's how to get your females bigger. Not really for fry, but maybe when they're a little bit older, you want some fat content so the females can give a lot of eggs and bigger batches of fry.
Yep, I agree 100% with what he just said. So other options is go frozen. You know, you're losing a little bit from the live, but you know, it costs a little more, but it's also less work. So.
I know a lot of people don't use mysis shrimp, but it's really high in protein and fat. It's like it looks large for guppies, but they'll just break it up themselves, munch on it.
Now, what's Cyclops? I never used Cyclops.
Cyclops, it's just like a microscopic organism. I guess similar to Daphnia in that way, but even way smaller. I think they're high in protein too. I mean, sometimes I have Cyclops blooms in my tubs.
Oh wow!
So I wonder why is there so many? Are the fish not eating them? But they'll clean your water. Like you can have green water, and then all of a sudden your water's clear, and that's why, because you had a Cyclops bloom.
Yeah, but I've heard that Cyclops is great for.
It's good. Oh, okay.
But it's weird. Some people just swear by it, and then they kind of throw everything else out the window. So
they just use Cyclops.
Well, just for fry. You know, they aren't
fry.
using the baby brine shrimp. They're not using the microworms, or they use the Cyclops.
I know Guppy Guru, he uses that, the frozen Cyclops. Not frozen, freeze-dried Cyclops, I think.
He may have been one of the...
It's like a really fine powder. I think he was saying something like that.
And then, Ed, I've got a question popped up there for you from Detroit Shrimp and Aquatics.
Let's see. Can half-beaks live by themselves and be happy? Daisy rice fish are the best. They are the best. And honestly, I don't know about the half-beaks. There again, that's a Bob thing. I've never.
I wonder what he means by themselves. Like just one by itself, or do you mean like without other species? But without other species, of course, it's gonna be good that you only have that one species. They are live bearers. They are fry eaters, so you're gonna want a lot of cover. You're gonna probably want to treat them just like your albino guppies, where you think they'll eat their fry, so you want a lot of cover and take out their fry fast or something.
Yeah, I bet you he means just one. Kind of like you don't want to have just one Coradora.
Just one.
But I mean, it just, I don't know. I'd get a couple of them just because I like to see them happy. Nowadays, I don't do any tanks where I just have one or two of anything. I like to keep groups of everything. I don't like Noah's Ark tanks. You know what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
I really like just having one species or two in there.
Yeah, I used to be a Noah's Ark guy, but I am totally on board with species only now.
Yeah.
I think it's like a transition in your hobby. Like everyone kind of does that at first.
Yeah, in my 200, I have I guess 3 different types. I always try to have some type of cleaning crew. So I have Synodontis in there, and then I've got a Bichir, and then I've got Geophagus and Threadfinicaris. And I didn't realize when the Threadfinicaris and the Geophagus were little, they looked identical. But now the Threadfinicaris are just crazy awesome. I almost would have just bought.
They're the same. Are they the same, like, genus? Do you know?
Yeah, they're
okay.
the same. Yeah, but they don't have the flat down head, that the Geos have, and the colors are crazy.
They're not sand sifters.
No.
Oh, okay.
Maybe they may have a little when they were young, but not much. Not like the Geos. But I'm pretty sure that Dan said they were together, or from the same family. But that's Dan from Dan's Fish. Man, if you got any question, you can ask him, and he's just amazing. He's awesome.
So
not Dan Slee, of course.
Yeah, no, not Dan Slee.
I just look at his pictures.
Yeah, I love Dan Slee's pictures. Real quick, just to clear up, I'll get all the stream times fixed. Rena, if you hit your Saturdays, several Saturdays concurrently, I'll throw it back on there. This was something Bob Kaler had kind of talked about, where we've got stream times listed in a bunch of different places. People not doing their streams. So, like, what I'm doing on mine is if you miss a stream and I don't know what's going on, my assumption is you're not going to stream. I pull you off of the site. If you haven't posted somewhere, hey, I'm not doing it, or you don't have somebody filling in. And then if I see that you are going to be consistently streaming at those times, I put you back on there. But I hate having stuff on there, and then, it goes 2, 3, 4 weeks of people not doing that stream sometimes. And then I find out after the fact, he decided not to do that stream time a month ago. So let's just answer that real quick. And hey, Benny's Aquatics, good to see you. Back to you,
I see Benny here, and I'm going to throw just a little bit off subject. I've got some heart problems right now, and so I had family come in as an emergency because they all thought I was going to have open heart surgery last week, and it turned out it was a bad test, and I'm not nearly as bad as that. But so I have the family in here, and I haven't been hardly able to watch anybody's streams. And like I saw Benny was on last night, and it was like, oh, I'm so tired. And I think Griff was on too, and I've been sleeping and then getting up early and kind of just playing with my brother, having a lot of fun while he's been here. I haven't got to hang out with my brother like this in years because his wife stayed home. So I apologize, and I will catch up on all your guys' streams as soon as my life kind of goes back to normal. So just a little off subject. Sorry, guys.
Well, I'm glad it's not as bad as you thought. So it's a good thing.
Yeah, I have a bicuspid valve, and here I'll kind of draw it here.
Heart time.
Yeah, heart
So
time.
they have to replace it or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they gotta go in. That's major.
Well, they said that originally they were going to go through my neck.
They don't have to crack you open.
Yeah, hopefully they don't. Now my dad just had to be cracked open a few months ago because he has the same birth defect.
Crazy. Okay,
So
so
that's what your normal heart valve looks like, and it opens and shuts with those 3 little triangles.
that's a weird design.
Yeah. And
Why 3? It should just be 2. Okay.
well, mine is just 2.
I'm not God. Oh, so 2 is what? Oh,
So mine's like this, just a straight line. Well, you see, this one right here causes your valve to open, lets a lot more blood in and out with this design. This design just kind of stretches and doesn't allow as much out. And then it's torn on one of the sides. Oh, that was a pretty good circle. But one of the sides is torn, so it's even causing blood to leak nonstop. And then they also found a aneurysm that they thought was huge, but it's just a smaller one that's up above the heart valve. So, and it's probably from the pressure of the blood not working right through it. So they're going to have to replace the whole valve, but hopefully they can fix all three things with one shot, and maybe next week. So
Just through your neck, yeah, you're saying.
yeah, hopefully it'll be through my neck or through my groin, and I'd rather go through my neck than my groin. I'm pretty sure my valves are at neck level. But
The things they can do.
yeah, it's crazy. Oh, and then there's also a chance, like if it's really bad, instead of cracking it, they'll go from the top and the bottom of the rib cage and cut you like a 2 inch below and 2 inch above. That's what originally they were going to do for my dad, and it turned out that his heart valve had gotten all crusty because it was so old. It literally, as they moved it, was falling apart, and so they did an emergency crack and did it. But I played a lot more sports than my dad, so that's why mine's more worn out. I think so much earlier in life because I played hockey so much and football, softball. I don't really exercise in softball, but I played a lot of intense sports and stuff, and I guess that's why I wore my heart out quicker, or my heart valve, not my whole heart. And like I'm a big guy, but I don't have bad cholesterol or anything, so that's good.
Oh, really? Oh, I have bad cholesterol.
Well, it's probably all that ham stuff you eat.
Yeah, probably.
I was going to say, Ed, yours is probably from all the awesome food that you always seem to find no matter where we go.
Yeah, you would think. Well, that's why I'm so fat. Because I do like to eat. I'm terrible. I used to be a little thinner when I didn't have the hurt back because I was able to exercise enough. But now that I can't exercise, I've just I'm probably really good at tug of war now.
There you go.
Yeah.
Just careful on your back.
Oh yeah, I better not do tug of war. I'm always looking for something I can do. I can do really good cannonballs in the pool.
Nice.
I bet.
Streetwise, you're welcome for keeping up with the schedules as best as I can. I try. Danica Aquatic saying I look tired. Yeah, I did like 9 or 10 hours of solid scrubbing and cleaning fish accessories and magic eraser to the walls and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm a little worn out, but I was trying not to convey it, but I see I have failed. And congratulations to Chris for saying got his first drop of fry from his guppies. Got about 20.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm sure they will keep going, and congrats on that. Very cool. And Bob, to answer your question, if you didn't see my answer in chat, no, I don't have a message board up on the Fisher and Fever website. It would just be full of poop emojis if I did put one up. That may be something that I potentially move into, having something on there. But at this time, I do not.
Well, I mean, we'll open it up for any questions. I don't know. I hope was there any other food questions that I think I understand why I need to do the live brine shrimp. It just / egg yolk that you don't get with the frozen. And just that alone, and hopefully I save some money, but I think that should help my guppies grow up and be happier guppies. And I hope maybe if anybody else is on the border, something we didn't talk about was, have you tried any other like hatcheries?
Yeah, I tried a lot of different hatcheries actually. The one that I liked at first was that disc one, the disc one, right? But it only makes that little scoop, and that's totally not enough. So
yeah, I was afraid if I got that, I'd need like 8 of them because of the little one for each.
Actually, I'm gonna get the Ziz one, from Aquarium Co-op, that really big one, because these are not getting kind of not so big enough. I feel like the water is getting too cloudy faster because I'm putting more eggs inside, so they'll be able to handle bigger batches. So, but they're out right now, so I'm just waiting for them to get back in stock.
Now, does that thing have a way to clean the shells out? I guess I didn't pay attention to that. Like, what was the trick? It looked like it was kind of like a little Kool-Aid thing.
I assume it's gonna work the same way as this one, is where you just stop right before the shells come out into the tube. So you just gotta watch. I could be wrong, but I think that's probably gonna be the same mechanism, because it pretty much is the same thing. It's just like a more professional design. Because actually, so I have issues with this. I have metal valves here, and after a time, they get they're not really rusty, but they get really hard to turn, where I like started to hurt my hand, and then I have to get a wrench to like go back and forth, just to loosen it back up. But yeah, see, this one is just like a twist, and it's plastic, so it's not gonna corrode. So I just think it's just gonna work nicer in the long run. But I'm gonna hang it up. I'm not gonna use the stand like this.
Are you gonna do one or two?
I'm gonna do two, so I'm gonna get two.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how many tanks do you feed?
I have like 140 systems running right now.
Wow.
But brine shrimp wise, it's mostly just the fries and the breeders that get them. I don't know how many. A lot. I mean, I feed a lot of them brine, but not everyone gets brine.
Well, I mean, I trust what you're saying, and maybe I should just get that Zist thing. I was just thinking it would make too much at once for me.
How many tanks are you feeding?
About 35.
I think you can do it. 35. Yeah, 35. Yeah, you should get it.
Okay.
You're gonna feed all 35 the brine shrimp. Oh yeah, get it. Yeah.
Okay.
You'll be able to use all the brine. Like I always run out. Like I wish I was like, I should put one more scoop in or something.
Well, maybe I'll just do one, and then I'll still like do ground up flake or something. I don't know.
Yeah, because you could just do one feeding a day instead of two. Yeah.
Like that could be maybe what they wake up to, so that way they can chase them around throughout the day.
You know, a lot of people do actually. They do the opposite. They do like the dry food in the morning, and then baby brine in the afternoon, because in the morning they're starving and they'll eat anything. So you don't want to spoil them first thing in the morning. But I feed them both that morning and night. So hey, Joseph.
Awesome. Hey, Joseph's here, and Scotty. One quick thing is, I don't know if you ever do any of the giant or the jumbo krill, but I always get mine from my local fish store, and they've had a problem with trucks lately, so they haven't been able to get them. They're frozen, a lot of their frozen foods. And so I went to Petco and PetSmart, and Petco was charging $23 for a sheet. And PetSmart had the exact same sheet for $15.99. So I'm just throwing that out there, people. That's just
$15.99.
So you're saving like $7. That's huge.
Got a question up there for you, Chattanooga Ed.
Yes, sir. Oh, okay.
Oh, there's
pennies. Ed, should I feed egg yolk to my guppy fry? Oh, okay. If so, how much would it? Okay. So basically, the egg yolk is attached to the fry we're talking about. So what we're doing is we're just taking these guys.
The baby brine shrimp yolk, not chicken egg yolk.
Yeah, it's the egg yolk from the actual fry. So, like, sometimes you can even see on some fish fry, you'll see like a little weird thing hanging off their belly, and that's actually their yolk from their egg. And I mean, I think it even comes out of live bear sometimes. I think
if they're early born, once in a while,
you'll see like this little round food sack that would be like on your belly button, and that's like filled with great fats and calcium and all the stuff that helps grow that little shrimp into a big shrimp. Will also help your little fish grow into a big fish. So that's the yolk we're talking about.
Just I think freshly, but some people do actually use chicken eggs to feed their fish. What they do is they scramble it up, and then they steam it. So they put it in a boiling pot and they steam it. And you can even mix in some spirulina in there if you wish, and some garlic if you wish. and they feed it to stuff like goldfish and guppies too. I did try it, and my guppies kind of didn't like it, so I don't do that anymore. I think because they're used to my routine, which is the baby brine and the frozen food. So they kind of looked at it as like, "What is this?" But I hear people use it. So
Oh, he was talking about guppy fry too. Well, what would you recommend for his guppy fry?
A lot of people just use crushed flake. To be honest, if you're not ready to go big scale and make this a overly complex system, use what you have. There's nothing wrong with just crushed flakes. It'll work. It'll work fine.
And just crush it really.
Yep. Especially
Just
that
like a
stuff.
powder.
The one. Yeah, it's good.
Well, and the great thing is when you do that, if you've got the adults in the same tank, if you're not pulling and separating and frying all that, but you get the multiple sizes, so you've got the bigger pieces that your larger fish, your parents tend to go for, while the smaller the fry are going after those really teeny pieces to start out with, so they almost get a head start at feeding time versus the parents just trying to gobble everything up.
And I used to crush all of mine for all my guppies. And I mean, because I like all my guppies to have little stuff. But since I've got these pond or the tubs out there, I've been kind of throwing some big chunks, and it's so much fun because like one of the adults will grab the biggest chunk, it'd be like a pillow or something in our face, and you see him going all over the place, and they're all chasing him for that giant. I love it.
Yeah.
It's great. So I don't know if it's just they have so much more room in the tub, or I don't know. I don't see that type of action as much in the 20-gallon. I use 20 breeders, and I guess they just stay in one spot with the 20 breeders. They don't really take off with it. But, yep. Dragon Layer says that he boils eggs. He boils egg yolks, and he used it for a long time to feed his bettas. Oh, wow, back in the 70s. That's awesome.
Yeah,
So I would have boiled it almost into a powder, like a dry.
There's some videos on YouTube. You could look that up on how to make it.
Oh, that's awesome. I know I used to make my own discus food, and I would go to the local butcher, and I'd have to special order the stupid beef heart, cow heart, because they just didn't carry it there. And I would get one of those, and I would get like 2 slabs of tilapia and about 6 big shrimp. And then I would put it through a meat grinder, and then I'd put it in the little cubes and freeze it. And I saved a ton of money that way. And I mean, they loved it. My discus loved it.
Did you thaw it out before you fed it?
Yeah, I always put everything. I use a coffee mug, and I would use with those guys. I would use their water. I'd dunk it out. And,
there you go.
My fish here with frozen.
That's what I'm going to use the mug for.
Multi-purpose. There you go.
With my fish here, I just use the hottest water I can get out of the tap.
Okay. You know what? One thing about the yolk thing, though, because my fish didn't care for it, I stopped using it, and then I just left it in the fridge for a long time, and eventually there was a really bad smell coming from my fridge. So if you're gonna make it, use it or throw it away.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
Absolutely.
Jesse, do you have chickens?
I do have 4 chickens. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I just asked. I don't really have a follow-up.
I think I have a rooster. I think I'm gonna have to get rid of it because I don't want a rooster in my house. I live in the suburbs, so the houses are pretty close together.
People are gonna hate you.
Yeah, so he's gonna be gone, and too bad because he's kind of my favorite one. He's so sweet. He'd come up to me. He'll just snuggle up and it's pretty cool. But yeah, I think he's a rooster.
I used to have guinea hens in Missouri also. Have you ever seen guinea hens?
Guinea hens? No, what's that?
They're like a chicken with a little head. I think they're from Guinea.
Guinea hens? Guinea what? What did you call it?
Guinea hens. But
I
they're
hate spelling the word guinea. It's so hard.
Yeah, well, they're huge tick eaters. So the guineas would go and they'd wipe out my ticks in my yard because we had real bad ticks in Missouri. But it was funny because every time somebody would drive up into my driveway, they'd all come out like a little pack of army guys to greet whoever showed up.
Are they called guinea fowls? No,
Yeah, that's a guinea hen. Maybe in Missouri we just call them something different, and they're really called guinea fowls. But I mean, you guys know what a guinea hen is, right?
I mean, I don't.
Well, I've got it pulled up so they can kind of.
Oh, there you go. Okay, I see it now. I was searching it for myself.
Yeah, we had those on a. I don't necessarily want to say a farm, but a piece of land in Kentucky. They kind of came with the property when we moved in, if you will.
Does that one have like bunch butt or something?
That one's got a diaper on it. Yeah, that.
Oh my God!
You can buy chicken diapers on Etsy.
Gosh, look at that. But they're real funny because, like I say, if something gets on your property, they're like dogs. Make noise and let you know, and get in the way of the house and the bad guy or the mailman. But, yep, they were. I preferred them over ticks. The ticks were so bad in Missouri, they would climb over your doorway and drop on you as you walked into your house.
Gross.
Oh, yeah, I hated it.
I haven't seen a tick in like 10 years.
Oh, well, I haven't seen one since I moved to Tennessee. They say they have them here, but what I see here is fleas. I never had fleas in Missouri. Man, fleas are terrible. Weird.
So, couple of things from the chat real quick. Lefty mentioned the local PetSmart puts flake food in the water, then uses an eyedropper to shoot it into the tank in terms of getting the flakes to the fry. Mine don't have the issue to the point that the fry don't get to eat, but if they did, that's a wonderful idea. And I've done stuff like that previously when I had feeding issues for like target feeding, if you will. Where was it? Priscilla said, did James mention yet how his new fish are doing? I have not talked about the zebra plecos just yet. I'm going to have a members only video out tomorrow, and then I'll have another video. I'll have the unboxing video out probably the day after. But zebra plecos are doing great. Cute as can be. There it is. Bob was asking if he is live after this. He is not. He said next week is when he's going to start going live after the Nocturnal feeding show.
Oh, cool. Dave?
Yeah.
That's nice.
And then the other question, I think it was Fantastic Freaks. I can't find it again. I was asking if anybody was taking advantage of the $1 per gallon sale.
I would like to.
Yeah, I've got to help Ed find some tanks. I think, don't tell Miss Fever, I think I'm going to get 2 more 40 breeders. I think I've devised a way by moving the 110 into another room that I can use that 6 foot of space to have a couple 40 breeders, and then have, can't tell Ed too many details, but have my betta wall, my betta barracks actually in the corner on an L shape. So it's, I think that's how that's going to work. So I plan on taking advantage of it.
Yep, Jesse, James and I are competing, and everybody else did you know about our competition?
No.
We are both going to make a betta wall.
Uh-huh.
And we haven't really made any rules or anything. I mean, do we have any real rules yet? Or if we are going to have rules? I don't know.
Did you have to let me help with your sump since you've never done one before?
Did you see Ailey's live today?
No.
I didn't. I was... Yeah.
She was working on a beta rack thingy, and the container she was using, it kind of looked like really elongated like water pitchers. I just thought it was like the coolest thing, and I don't know. Might want to look into that.
Nice.
Cool.
Moonstone, good night. I hope you have a great night. Kim, thanks for hanging out with us.
Night, Moon. Thank you so much for coming and being our mod tonight. You're an amazing person. But okay. Well, yeah, we don't really have any rules. Like it could be 5 beta, or 25, or I think James was talking 40 some. I'm
looking at like 48 minimum holding areas, living areas, however you want to do it.
Mine's going to be pretty twerpy compared to him.
Well, the problem is, and I'm going to be completely brutally honest here, as I always am, I'm probably going to have to go bigger because of YouTube, because I know the world will chastise me if these things have like a 1.5 gallon living area, even though that's much better than the cup that they're probably going to live their lives out in anyway. So I'm having to go bigger because I just don't feel like hearing the crap on YouTube, in all honesty.
Mhm.
You know, realistically, otherwise I could do a really cool setup that I think that they would enjoy more, but I don't want to have to hear every single time somebody watches it, oh, they need more than 1.5 gallons. And I'm like,
how big are you going to go?
I'm looking at 2.5 minimum, just to
perfect.
shut the world up.
That's too much for a single one, but that'll be that. I think that's kind of what Haley had. They look around 2.5.
Yeah. But Fantastic Freaks was asking, how many bettas do I have? I currently have 15? 16.
Oh, and the winner, by popular vote, has to receive. That didn't make sense. The loser, by popular vote, does that make sense either? I don't know. The loser has to vote the other guy.
Vote.
Yeah, the guy who wins gets a fish from the other guy's fish store.
Of choice?
No. Mine is $65 bettas.
I just say
You'll have my call.
I'll have a really nice one.
Hey, at least I'm honest. Well, that's like 20 or 20.
Well, hats off to you guys. I don't envy you. I mean, working on a betta rack, that's seriously hard work and some dedication there. So good luck.
Well, don't tell me that.
Well, and I think that like the basic rules are that for it to qualify for what we're doing as a barracks or a rack or a system is that it all has to be on the same water setup. It can't be individual tanks. I think we're requiring a sump to be involved, what I'm understanding. And then, of course, I would say heated, since we're going through all that. So that's just throwing a heater in there. But
okay. See, I was going to have it in my heated rim.
Well, then, yeah. I mean, as long as the temperature is going to be good, that's the thing. It's like most of my tanks aren't heated, but my rooms are.
House in the world.
So,
No, I say hottest house. Only his fish room is hot. The rest of his house is cool. I don't know how he does it.
It's magic. It's fish magic.
It is.
I think the key to winning will be finding the right container. That magical, beautiful container is like, oh, how'd you get that?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and I'm trying to do it on the cheap. I should on the affordable. Yeah. So I'm not going to go out and spend $45 on each square.
Right.
Of course not.
We want it to be scalable and easily doable for anybody, not just people to randomly have to throw lots of money at it.
But I do have my containers.
You already have your containers?
And Rack has already seen them. He thinks they're cool.
Well, and see, my thing is I honestly have kind of given up in my heart because I've got so many other projects to dump funding into. Just like getting the central air pump hooked up and buying the valves and plumbing and all of that crap. I'm like, I really need to do that first. So we'll see how it turns out. But I'm still going to try and give you a run for your money.
Well, we just want to make them both cool. So that's the cool thing. And
now, can I win if I just have one betta and 110 gallon with a sump on it? I'm just
100 gallon.
I'm just kidding. I won't do that.
Let's see. Bob said, Ed, I saw a mega clown at Rob's. You showed the picture. Oh, yes. Oh, you know what? I forgot to check those. I was there today, and I forgot to see. That's what that pleco is called, a mega clown pleco.
I've not actually seen in person one. I've seen pictures of them, and I've heard about them. I like the clowns. They're actually one of the 5 plecos I'm recommending for smaller tanks in an upcoming video. Wink, wink. Because the clown plecos just stay so small. I mean, you're looking.
Have you bred those clown plecos before?
Those little son of a biscuits have not bred. No, I've been trying, and they have not.
Yeah, same here, man. Okay, well, too bad.
Yeah,
I was hoping for some advice.
Yeah, we'll have to talk after, or not necessarily after, but at some point, We'll have to message each other and see what we can figure out with those darn things. 'Cause
Yeah,
mine still haven't.
me too. I have 4 of them.
That's what I've got. I've got 4 in there. Yeah.
4 is a bad number, I guess.
I'm gonna have to buy more.
Yes.
Yeah, and when Bob says Rob's, that's Aquatic Aesthetics in Hickson, Tennessee. That's our local fish store. Why don't we all? Where do you go, Jesse? What's your fish store's favorite? Your favorite fish store's name?
Moanalua Pets. It's pretty close to my house, and often, like when I sell locally, I'll tell them, "Let's go meet over there," and then I'll go inside and like turn around that money and buy something.
Nice.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
How about you, James?
My favorite is Aquatic Marine here in Knoxville, Tennessee. I think everybody knows that, but if not, go check them out. And I'm sure we can get links to Aquatic Aesthetics. Yep, Lefty's already dropped the link for their Facebook and for Aquatic Marine.
Aquatic Aesthetics also has a YouTube channel. He's got a real neat clown or dog face puffer blowing up, and he has some really neat time lapse videos of like snails just going everywhere. I could watch it as a screensaver.
What's funny, it kills me, is Aquatic Marine, like their main video that pops up is a puffer blowing up too. I always get a kick out of that. That just happened that way. And Jesse was saying if you buy the plane ticket to Hawaii, he'll give you a free tour of his local fish store, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If I know you enough.
Now, Jesse, which island do you live on?
Oahu is the middle island, not the largest island, but the most populated.
I almost moved to, I think they call it the small island. It's the one that's mostly a park, I think, where they do the movies and stuff, maybe.
I don't know.
Is-
Kauai. Kauai is where they do some of the movies, but they do a lot of movies here too, though. Yeah. So probably Kauai. Kauai is like it's one of the smaller islands. Beautiful island.
Well, I found a condo that faced the ocean that I could afford, and I almost did it. I was like, thought about retiring there. And my brother was going to try to get a job out there. So
Yeah. Your life would have been so different.
no, crazy. I would have been able to go hang out with you.
Yeah. Join my fish clubs.
How hard is it to go from island to island?
Oh, I mean, there's planes like many times a day. No issues at all. Yeah. They used to even have a ferry where you could like put your car on it. But they went bankrupt and they left. It was kind of sad.
Oh, that's tough. That would be
that was
a way to get
cool.
around.
Yeah, because like you could take your car there, you wouldn't have to rent a car.
Do they
And
have
it wasn't. Sorry.
Do they have a taxi or anything, like a boat taxi?
I mean, that's basic. That no, not my boat. They wanted to do it, but yeah. The islands aren't that close together. Actually, they're pretty far.
Dragon Lair figured out my secret for my betta wall. I'm going to do a 10-gallon sump on every 2-gallon betta tank.
And
But
listen,
what's sad is
Santa
I could do the 10-gallon sump cheaper than I can buy the 2.5-gallon tank, unfortunately.
yeah,
Because it's like 13 or 14. I think it's $12.99. It might be $13.99
Something
for the
like that.
2.5-gallon tanks.
I wish 2.5-gallon tanks were $2.50.
yeah.
Or even give me half price on them. I'd be happy with that. I'd pay $6.50 to $7 a tank if I had to. I'm not spending 13 on them.
Yeah.
Well, the small tanks, they heat them, or what's it called? The shatterproof.
They're tempered.
Yeah, they're tempered. The little ones, so you can't drill them either. So that stinks. But
There are ways around that.
Yep. But yeah, it's. Anybody else got any questions? Or I can talk about Hawaii all day.
Priscilla's saying that she's seen people put 75-gallon sumps on 40-gallon tanks. Stuff like that is actually really common, or at least it was back when I was real big in the reef side of things. It was really common with saltwater. especially with reefer coral tanks, where you'll have like a nano tank, and then the sump is actually larger just to give that safety water volume, and you can put all your skimmer and all of that stuff down there. So you might have a 20-gallon nano coral tank with a 40 breeder as a sump for it. But I've seen that a good bit on that side.
Seems silly.
Jesse, do you have any sumps?
No. I don't want. I used to have one that someone was selling on Craigslist, so I bought it, and then I never ever set it up. I never ever used it, and it just took up a lot of room in my garage. I finally came to my senses and I sold it. So I'm not into it. I guess I never wanted to set it up.
Yeah, well, like James keeps saying, I've never done it in my life, but I kind of feel like I got to do it for these betta tanks because they're all going to be separate, small little guys. And I mean, I could put a sponge filter in each one, but
I mean, for that one, it doesn't have to be like a real sump. It could just be a tank, right? That just runs the pump. And it has some media in it. You don't need all that separate chambers and all that stuff.
Yeah, usually you just need the baffles for salt water. Most of that's to remove micro bubbles. That way they don't get pumped back into the display tank. I won't buy a sump, like not for standard price. If there's a super cheap one somewhere, I'll purchase one, but usually I still redo it anyways. But I've got like a 40 breeder that's actually a critter cage, which is slightly just a fraction of an inch thinner glass, but they tell you not to fill it all the way with water. So I use that for a sump. It only fills about 8 inches or so, and I've got the built-in. I built my own media stand and all that, and it's got my pumps and heaters and that. So that's my do-it-yourself sumps. I won't go spend $300 on a sump. That's too many 10 gallons I could get on a $1 per gallon sale.
You never wanted to try to fill up the water all the way just to see what would happen?
I've gotten it about that far from the top, and it hasn't busted.
You should have went all the way just to test it out.
No,
the edge. Come on.
Well, see, I drove all the way to pick it up. It was a Craigslist listing. It was like $40, maybe $45. But I got there to pick it up, and I was like, it had the big red sticker that says "Do not fill with water," And I'm like, I'm still gonna buy it. I'm out here. Yeah, you're out here. I'm gonna buy it. And I did take the calipers to it, and I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was just slightly a couple millimeters difference on the glass thickness.
Yeah.
So I haven't tried it.
Bob asked me if I've been to the leopard colony. Yes, I have. Not to the colony, but I've been to the island. It's called Molokai. But I used to paddle canoes, and we used to race from that island to my island. So I used to go there.
Were you afraid to go there?
Not at all. I don't think it's contagious. And all the remaining people that have leprosy, they're like super old. Like I said, I've never been to the actual leprosy colony where they kept it. Yeah.
I hear they give the best hugs.
Oh yeah.
So Lefty is coughing to talk about Project Adamantoid for August. One thing I want to say real quick, JH had mentioned the Tennessee, he said meetup, but the Aquaticon in Knoxville, Tennessee on October 3rd and 4th. You probably won't be hearing me talk about it a whole lot due to the current health situation, as we'll phrase it. Basically, we're still planning all this stuff. And then like 30 days out, we're going to evaluate and either dump all the information on you then or say, hey, look, the city's not going to let us do it type of thing.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Because I've seen a couple clubs that have done stuff like that. I think like OCA, I think was the last one that was like, we were evaluating until it was 30 days out and we've decided not to do it. So we're still planning it. We're still essentially getting everything set up so that 30 days out, we can dump all the information, say, hey, here's the website, here's what we're going to have, here's how you can get a booth, here's, this type of stuff. So don't take my lack of talking about it a whole lot for it not happening, because it is still planned at this point.
Can I ask though, like if it was to happen today, would the city allow it?
Yes.
Okay. So right now would be okay.
We're in Tennessee, so we were kind of the last people to jump on board. I think we were like the 46th state to initially shut down the first go round with shutdowns.
Mm-hmm.
I know we were way down there because every day at work I would get a list of all the states and every day it would grow, and then eventually at the very end we jumped on there. But I honestly, if you look at the time projections, if they locked everything down like now or in the next couple weeks like they did the first go round, the time that the event would be happening would be the time when they'd be opening everything back up anyways. So I don't foresee a huge issue, but since there is the remote possibility, I did want to bring it up. But we're still planning and working on it. Look at that pretty guppy.
This was from Project Basilia, and this guy right here took that photo and won the grand prize.
I should show you guys what it looks like today.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Does he not look like? Is he dead?
Oh no, he's fuller. It's tail is bigger. And
Oh, I thought you were going to say he's all
no, he looks
tied
great.
up and you stuck him on the wall, kind of like that other fish.
No,
you got.
he's even more awesome than he was back then.
Well, if you guys missed out on Project Basilia, next month we've got Project Anabantoid. Did I pronounce that right? Okay, good enough.
Yeah.
Anabantoid is the lung-breathing fish from Asia. And I know people are saying, well, what about rope fish and bichers? And we're keeping it to the Asian group of paradise fish, brummies, and all your bettas. So you got
the family,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
In the taxonomy thing, it's the family anabantoids. Okay.
Well, and see, there's been some arguments that the rope fish and those guys kind of belong in the family. So we're trying to keep it to just these lung-breathing Asian strands, or I don't know, strands, family. But I mean, you can submit your rope fish, but it just may not get any votes. So, and you only get to vote, or you only get to do one entry per category, and there's 3 categories. You have your photo, video, and art, inspirational. So it can be anywhere from a painting, paper mache, a t-shirt, face paint, you name it. You can do anything for that one.
I think that I'm going to have to let Dom submit that because that is a Karami.
Yeah.
So there's his entry. I know that he'll be disqualified because he's with me, but
Yeah, that would be the problem. We haven't come up with those rules yet.
Just watch. I'll send that to Ed, and then Ed will submit that as his entry.
Yeah, but it's still me. But I'll say, but it's for Ed. But okay. And then and this is just a beautiful picture from Jesse. And well, now my phone closed. I mean, that's just an incredible, beautiful image that Jesse took. So, you never know. There's so many beautiful betta shots out there that everybody takes photos of bettas. Make sure you enter because, what did we have? We had maybe 20 entries in the photos. I was expecting 100. So throw them in there.
That's it. Only 20. Yeah.
Yeah, in probably each category, and even less in art. So make sure you throw your stuff in there, and you have a chance to win. And we learned a lot on the first one. So hopefully we get the prizes a little more organized so they go all out at the same time. Like Jesse still hasn't gotten his mug from me. Sorry, Jesse.
Oh, no.
He still hasn't gotten the certificate. If any of the other winners are listening, I'm having a hard time getting that thing printed currently. So, but that is the world we're living in right now. But
so far, I've gotten the art from Rat. I think that was the only thing I got so far. But I'm waiting for everything to get in before I do a video on it.
I could print it on my crappy printer on regular paper, but I don't think that's fair.
Yeah. Well, Jesse's going to be getting a trophy from Guppy Guru.
That's on the way.
From us. Diego's going to send you the plants that actually were supposed to go to Sir Prongalot. But since Prongy is in Australia, we said if anybody wins from out of state or out of country, we would give it to the grand prize, as long as that was American. And if that was an American, we'd figure maybe we'd have to do an alternate. I don't know. That wasn't the issue. So you should be getting some plants from Diego. I think Chevy Fish donated some fish that she won from Stephen Conroy.
Danny can have a great night, buddy.
I didn't know that.
So, and we're just trying to get the logistics to you for those. And yeah, I don't know what else was the grand prize, but
I think Priscilla said she owed me a drawing.
Oh yeah, and Priscilla is going to do a drawing of your favorite fish.
I sent her the picture of that fish. I told her to draw that, the guppy.
Oh, I had that discussion with her last week. I'm like brain dead. But yeah, she actually told me that. So that's awesome. And so this time what we're going to do is we've set up a Facebook page. And what's the Facebook page, James?
Ask Lefty.
Lefty, what's the Facebook?
Project Anapantoids, probably.
I'm sure that's probably it, but I would dare say Lefty can get a link in here before I can get to it, especially trying to get past my guinea hen and brine shrimp hatchery pages here.
See, last time we made it really hard for our judges to find people's entries because we didn't have a main place to send them to.
Okay.
And I imagine there was probably more entries, but we never got them because somebody just misspelled Basilia or something. And we apologize. If we didn't get it, you'll never know because we're not showing all the ones that we did get. So
we got 22 entries is what Lefty was saying.
Okay. So, I mean, I want to see 50 betta photos, and I'm going to vote for probably the Samurai Grami instead.
Are you going to make it so that like other people can see what the entries are?
Well, I think that they'll all be on the Facebook page.
So they will be able to see the previous entries.
Yeah. So like last time, we had people posting entries on YouTube, in YouTube videos, on Instagram, and on Facebook. And Lefty and Zen kind of had to search the whole internet to track them all down with the hashtags. So everything was publicly available for people to see the entries. And it'll be the same here. That way everybody can see what all's entered. And that's part of it is even if you don't want to enter into it, you can still go on there and look at all the pretty bettas, or you could put a picture on there and just not tag it for entry. I'm still going to put a bunch of betta pictures on there anyways, even though I'm not eligible to be in it.
Yeah, I wish I would have entered some of my mollies. I had a molly video. I could have done molly photos because molly's got zero love in that thing. Zero. It was all guppies. Was there and a couple of inlers. But yeah. My poor mollies.
Have you seen Blake's Aquatics ranking game?
No.
He puts up a bunch of fish on the screen, and then we rank them A through F or something, depending on how much people like it. And Molly's there was pretty much an F. It got some real hate.
Oh man,
I believe it. But you know what? This judge would have voted for him.
So I want to say real quick, good night, Heather Tiffany. I appreciate you being here with us tonight. Lefty said that all official entries are going to be going to projectanavantoid@gmail.com as either the actual files or the links. But I would encourage you to post on the Anavantoid Facebook page as well. I think that's to help save them the week of trying to track everything down after the fact.
That's what was so hard in it. And those guys were so awesome that they went through all that work. And so we're going to funnel it all and make it easier for everybody to see it all. And maybe we're going to be doing our betta wall during that month.
Yep.
So I think that James and I will try to do an update every month or every week. It wouldn't do as much good once a month. And just to be goofy, just to kind of add to the celebration. And I don't know, Big Tank Hank, man, I hope he enters something because he has some amazing betta.
So this is where I'm going to do my shameless plugs real quick. But first, I'm going to say Benny's Aquatics is going to go live after we get done here in about 6 minutes. Check out my Instagram stuff. That's where I'm going to be doing not just photos, but also some more Instagram lives there. Monday on my stream. Of course, we're going to have Saturday Night Fever, but Monday I'm going to have Father Fish as a guest. I know we talked about him a little bit earlier. He's going to be on the Fishy Monday Fun Day stream. And that's all I have to say about me, and I'll shut up now.
Okay, well, I'll do a shameless plug too. All right, no, wait. This is my show. Jesse, you do a shameless plug first. That was so rude of me.
I don't really have much shameless plugs to say, but I will be on JH's stream this Sunday, so that's where you'll probably see me next. I do have Get Killed, so you can check that out. And yeah, that's all.
And possibly Aquabit.
Possibly Aquabit, but yeah, like I'll probably announce it like in one of my videos if I ever do a video again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, my turn for shameless. And then you know what? Well, I'm going to be on Lefty's show tomorrow. He's going to do an all-new show starting at 4 o'clock. And he and I are going to talk about all sorts of goofy things. So if it doesn't apply to fish, that's okay, because we'll talk about it. We'll talk about games, movies, comic books, you name it. We've got an answer. You may not like our answer, but we'll give you our opinion. So check it out on Lefty's channel. And Lefty, did you put a link to your channel?
Oh, I'm sure he will. Lefty, thank you for dropping the links for us. I do want to say thank you to everybody for coming here. We've got 48 people still watching, 58 thumbs up. So I appreciate you all. This guy's awesome, and this guy's awesome. So thank you very much for the support there. If you've not yet subscribed to either one of them, please do so. I think Ed, picked up a couple tonight. Ed's at 489, so he's this close to that 500 mark.
Ooh.
Jesse's at like 1.5 million subscribers, right? Something like that.
Not quite.
No, not quite, but both awesome guys. So please, if you haven't subscribed, ding that notification bell. That way you know when they come out with cool stuff.
Yep. And James, I had a video I was going to post last week, and then I had my heart stuff all happen. And then I looked at it, and I wasn't happy, so I asked James to edit it. And then tomorrow, hopefully I'll put that out tomorrow. So thank you, James, for being an awesome guy and fixing it.
Absolutely. Glad to do it for you, buddy.
And we'll see if anybody can tell what was messed up.
You'll probably be able to find it if you look hard enough. If we've got a link for Benny's Aquatics, I know he left to go set up the stream a minute ago. And Chris John, new face, or I say new face, but new name to me. So glad to have you here tonight. Appreciate you hanging out with us and subscribing. So you all get a subscribe from me. Very cool. Thank you for that.
Thanks, Chris.
I'm trying to hit that 1,500. Like it's one step forward, 2 steps back. So I'll pick up like 5 or 6 subscribers, and then that little purge will hit overnight, and I'll lose like 8. So I'll wake up and I'll be a few less, and then I'll pick them up, and so it's like 3 weeks of trying to hit it. It's frustrating, but we'll get there, and I love y'all for it.
You know, Chris, I got to know, where are you from? Don't give us your address, just your town.
Only Bob Keller gives his address out, and only Ed gives Bob's phone number out on live.
I can't believe. Did you know I did that, Jesse? I couldn't believe I did that. He was calling me, and I said, look, Bob's calling me.
It was great. It had Bob's phone number. I was like, we got to pull that off of there. I still need to go back and edit that. Just remind me at some point.
So I can look back and get his number right now.
Oh, it's unlisted, so you can't. It's not public currently.
Don't I have the coolest photo?
Is that your cat?
That is my cat, Nico.
I love Nico.
I was trying to get a close-up of his eyes, and he yawned. And I ended up getting the inside of his mouth.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's
Great.
awesome. Houston, Texas. All right.
Oh.
Got several Texas people, Chris.
Yeah, that's great. You'll have to, Chris, you're going to have to tell us the best fish stores to go, because we're going to be heading that way. I've got to go visit my nephew soon. He's in Austin. So.
Oh, Lefty, it wasn't anything a bikini doesn't show. He was asking about what my background was. It may have been a slightly scantily clad woman.
Yeah, I thought it was funny. Mine's a cat yawning, and yours is that.
Well, I mean, it just depends. If you go to my fish phone, my other phone,
my fish phone.
Oh, there you go.
It depends on what you grab. But we do have Benny's Aquatics. There's the link for the stream. I want to say thank you very much. And then I'll turn it over to Ed because this is on his channel. So I'm not going to do the outro. But thank you for having me on. And thank you, everybody, for being here. Love you all and appreciate you all.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jesse. You're an amazing guy. And I love talking to you all the time. You're super cool. And I just knew, man, you could help me out on this subject. But I thought it was a subject that was worth talking about. So really appreciate that.
We're not no problem.
And mods, thank you guys so much. I see Zen, Bob, Derek's here, Meg Guy, and Lefty. I saw Danikin was here. Thank you guys so much. And they all have channels. Go check them out. I mean, you can't find more tanks than Bob, or more species than Bob, except for maybe in Danikin's videos. So those guys rival each other, and they're both my mods. So go check out all those guys. They're all great. Thank you, James, for being my partner. It's always a lot of fun. And Jesse, anytime you want to come up, man, just let us know because you're super cool. And it's actually getting dark there.
I know. It's right over to your places. Kind of the light.
Yeah. But
do you have a hashtag you want to send everybody over to Benny's too?
How about
hashtag fish vote?
hashtag fry? No, I don't know. Just hashtag.
PBS.
So, but yeah, thank you guys. We'll be here next week. And check us out on all of our other streams. Bye-bye.